When it comes to minigames, you don't really think of Wii Fit. Something more like cool math games, IO games, and other small online platformers, but never Wii Fit. I myself though have played a lot of minigames from the Wii Fit series, so I've decided to go down the list and rank each of the minigames in the Wii Fit series based off the fun factor and enjoyment of each game. I will also not be including any of the yoga, strength, dance, or balance test games in the list since that would be way too much to say and don't really count as a minigame. So with that said, let's start from the top. Number 45, Free Climbing. There really isn't much to say about this game besides the bad parts, which is all of it. This is the worst game due to it wanting you to keep your arms up while grabbing onto the rocks, making your arms extremely tired, making this not much of a fun game, but more so torture. 44, Free Step. Pretty much as boring as it can get. All you have to do is step on and off the balance board for 10, 20, or 30 minutes depending on how long you want to play it for. You don't even have to step with the beat, you can just go as fast as you want as long as it's slow enough to be able to register the step. 43. Free Boxing. Kind of the same thing as Free Step, but you also get to move your hands as well. You still have the basic foot patterns as Free Step, and the hand patterns are not so different. With 10, 5, or 15 minutes, the game really isn't that enjoyable to play. 42. Free Run. Once again, pretty much as boring as it can get. You run around Woohoo Island for 10, 20, or 30 minutes depending on how long you choose the difficulty for. If you want to get an actual workout instead of stroking the Wii remote back and forth, you can follow the game's instructions and actually play the intended way. Number 41. Lotus Focus. A very good game to go ahead and just relax yourself from stress or anger, like I've had to do from losing plenty of world record pace runs. You simply just sit on the balance board and try to be as still as possible without moving. Or you can cheat and put a printer on it to try and get the best possible score. I would not advise that though. Number 40. Basic Run. It's pretty much just free run, but shorter and has different paths to go through. You also get to have a person or a pet as a guide to help you know which path to go through. Even though the path is already coded for you to pass through it, it still makes up for a pretty fun match. Number 39. Basic Run Plus. It's exactly like Basic Run, but a little twist with it. At the end of the run, it will take you through a quiz and give you some questions about things you passed by, or the pet or person that was your guide for the entire run, giving it a little more of a challenge than just a physical one. Number 38. Rhythm Boxing. You go through a 3, 6, or 10-minute playthrough depending on the difficulty, on hitting the punching bag and stepping back and forth. You have an instructor named Ray who will guide you through the rhythm and give you a try to do it yourself. To me it's a little fun, but I would only probably want to be playing this game at least once a week. Number 37. Rhythm Parade. You get put into a massive carnival where you have to shake the nunchuck and Wii remote in order to build up a larger band to traverse around the fountain. This takes about 3 minutes to do, with 2 difficulties to play. To me, the only thing that makes this game any good is the music. You can never go wrong with band music in Rhythm Parade. Number 36. Driving Range. I'm probably going to get a bit of hate for putting this game so low on the list, so let me explain. In Driving Range, you get 20 shots using a driver, iron, or wedge to try to get it as close to the hole as possible. The problem with this game is that there really isn't any challenge with it. If there was wind and you would have to take measures, then the game would be ranked much higher. Number 35. Big Top Juggling. This game is just what it sounds like. While dodging bombs and catching balls, the player must juggle balls and lean left and right to shift the ball on their feet. In advanced difficulty, you go from juggling 3 balls to 5 balls. That's a lot of balls. Even I have trouble playing with the balls. But overall, the game is an alright game. Number 34. Basic Step. After covering the worst step, Free Step, Basic Step really does change up the entire game. It includes banger music, fun, and amazing foot patterns, and a solid experience. It does only have 2 different foot patterns, but it still makes it a solid game. Number 33. 2-Player Run. Out of all the running games, this one takes the cake by a landslide. It literally is the exact same thing as Basic Run, but adds one key factor that makes this game an amazing experience. You guessed it, 2 players. Getting to play with a friend or family member and try to get the race done as fast as possible and beat the others makes it an amazing experience to feel. Number 32, Advanced Step, the best of the Step franchise. Advanced Step takes the level to a whole new level, literally. Instead of 2 patterns, they've now added 4 patterns, and in the end part, they start to speed up the time to place your pattern. Whenever I got the green patterns, I never knew what to actually do until I looked at the Miis beside me in the game and I instantly spelled stupid. Number 31, Bird's Eye Bullseye. I've almost never been a fan of this game, specifically because of my balance board. When I try to land on the targets, it always makes me start flapping my wings even though I'm not. The only reason why I put this up here instead of lower on the list is the overall level of enjoyment. If you don't get the balance board malfunctions, the game can actually turn out to be pretty fun. Number 30, Penguin Slide. The player has 90 seconds to catch fish coming out of the water. In order to catch the fish, they must tilt the balance board left and right to catch them. I've never really had a bad or good opinion on this game, since there really isn't anything to love or hate for it. You just gotta have a fun time, be a penguin, and catch some fish. Number 29, Super Hula Hoop. We've all played this game before, not just in Wii Fit, but also in real life. The goal is you have 3, 6, or 10 minutes to spin your hips left or right while 2 Miis are throwing hula hoops at you. You can also catch the hoops to get more points while hooping. It's a solid game, so it deserves to be in the middle. Number 28, Hula Hoop. It's the exact same thing as Super Hula Hoop, but you only have to spin for a minute and a half. The reason why this is ranked higher than Super Hula Hoop is because I would only rather hoop for a minute and a half than a longer time. Because every time I play Super Hula Hoop, my calves start to burn like Chicago in 1871. It hurts. So having a slower amount of time is just really beneficial. Number 27, Snowboard Slalom. The player must weave in between gates and get to the end of the course on a snowboard. They must lean left or right on the balance board to move the snowboard down the course. Since there is no time limit, the player can take as long as they want. Since I am a Canadian, you obviously know I love snowboarding, but since it's digital, sadly there's no real snow. Number 26, Rhythm Kung Fu, the last of the nunchuck and rhythm games. The goal of the game is to follow what your partners are doing in the mirror. With 2 difficulties, it makes the game a little more challenging, but not by too much. The game, for me, is ranked so high because of its music. Oh my gosh, is the music just the best you could ever listen to? In my personal opinion, Rhythm Kung Fu has the best music of the Wii Fit series. Number 25, Ski Jump. Once again, another level that does not disappoint. You get 2 tries to jump as far as possible. In the end, both scores get added up with your final score. Just looking at the game makes it seem like there isn't anything to get from playing, but after a few attempts, you realize you've been playing for an hour on Ski Jump. This is a very good minigame to just suck an hour of your life. Number 24, Dessert Course. Hungry customers are ordering ice cream and it's up to you to serve them their vanilla shakes. They might also order other desserts such as cakes and drinks. You must go ahead and use the Wii gamepad as a trait to balance and bring the treats to your designated customer. They will also try to make the treats fall off the tray, but that's not a problem to handle. Number 23, Orienteering. This one is a very controversial pick for the placement I gave it, but something with me just sticks around, where you are given a task and have to go find something, and you only get a small hint of where it is. You're given a Mii character with a background in the picture, and are tasked to find the Mii. There isn't much of an adventurous feeling with it, but it is a great way to learn about the places all across Woohoo Town, which literally no one cares about. Number 22, Tightrope Walk. You walk across a tightrope between 2 very tall buildings and have to get across to the end to win. There are also robotic jaws to jump over with heavy winds that could throw you off balance. The different difficulties don't have much notice besides Expert, since the winds feel like a hurricane. It gives a good challenge with a fun experience, making it a solid game. Number 21, Scuba Search. You jump off of a boat and explore the shallow reaches of the ocean, collecting treasures and finding fish with a limited oxygen tank. The scenery is absolutely beautiful, with coral, rock structures, and fish, and plenty of sea life to see. The gameplay is also very fun with collecting fish. Although the controllers can be a bit janky, the overall gameplay feels like an adventure everyone would wish to experience. Number 20. Table Tilt Plus, the DLC to Table Tilt. Table Tilt Plus has you go through 8 different levels with more balls added each time. The difference between the original and Plus is the little machines that they have added in giving it more of a challenge. Being able to put the balls in those jump pads and just watching them go everywhere gives it a little fun without playing the intended way. Number 19. Climbing. You must climb up a long wall and grab onto rocks with your hands to climb up further. The cool aspect of this minigame that gives it the reason to be so high up on this list here is how you grab the rocks on the cliff. You have to use your own hands like you're reaching for them in real life in order to progress, which gives it a really fun experience and a good challenge. Number 18. Skateboard Arena. With 2 different difficulties, you go through a long 8 levels of jumps, tricks, and rail grinding. Surprisingly, each level takes quite a long time, giving it more of an experience than Burning Thighs. I never did really like this game due to my horrible balance and it not letting me jump when I wanted to, but because of my trash skills, the game shouldn't be ranked bad since the level design and enjoyability really do make up for the mistakes. Number 17. Hose Down. You must defend yourself by shooting mud-throwing Miis and strong mud creatures that are running in your direction. Your objective is to use the hose that is filled up with a limited amount of water and spray all of the Miis and creatures for as long as you can until you lose 3 hearts or until time runs out. I really do enjoy this minigame since having to aim with anything in something like Wii Fit is just somehow really fun. It also has 3 different difficulties. In my mind, has the best 3 places on Woohoo Island, being the Ancient Ruins, Summerstone Castle, and Woohoo Town. Number 16. Bubble Balance. You must guide your Mii and balance down a river with many obstacles such as walls, bees, and other objects. You will notice when you are about to pop since your Mii will start shaking, making you want to stay as close to the wall as possible to watch it have a stroke. That was my most favorite part of the game, just getting to torture my Mii by thinking he's about to die. It really is an enjoyable moment to see. Number 15. Ski Slalom. You go down a large ski slope and try to get to the bottom as fast as you can while going in between flags that are placed. With such a basic core mechanic, it really does manage to give you a fun feeling to repeat the level over and over again. And with 2 different difficulties, it makes the game an amazing experience. Number 14. Ultimate Obstacle Course. Welcome to Obstacle Course from Wii Fit Plus, but this time, it's Obstacle Course 2.0. By being able to move like the regular obstacle course, you can also turn your body in all directions except backwards. The fact that this minigame has the ability to move around with your body movements is unbelievable for a game like Wii Fit. The platforms are just like from the original, but they can also be tilted from one side to the other, giving it much more of a challenge. The reason this isn't much higher on the list is that it's just way too complicated with all the extra mechanics that you must get used to, whereas the original, you had it very simple and just fun overall. Number 13. Perfect 10. You go all the way back to elementary school and learn some math. With 3 difficulties, you have mushrooms that spawn around you with numbers on them. Some of the numbers will add up to 10, 15, or 20 depending on the difficulty, as well as 20 questions for each. The bad part about this game is it wants you to stand and use your hips like you're bumping them with your butt. But I just use my hands since it's easier and has no way of messing up. Number 12. Bubble Balance Plus, the better Bubble Balance. You go down a dark jungle river, seeming like you're Indiana Jones. There are obstacles at the start, but nothing too much. Then you go into a massive tunnel, which looks so cool. It's pitch black in the tunnel with only your bubble and torches giving you light. The echo really gives it its creepy feeling, making it a little more scary. After you leave, you pretty much have the original Bubble Balance level design. When I was a kid, for some reason, I was always afraid of this level and never played it until I got older, and boy did I miss the fun. This game really does give off an adventurous vibe. Number 11. Trampoline Target. You jump up and down like any basic trampoline, but this isn't any basic trampoline. It's Wii Fit U's trampoline. By jumping in the center, you start to bounce up higher and higher every time, even though the trampoline is completely disobeying the laws of physics by being able to jump more than a kilometer into the air. Makes it so fun, yet so stupid at the same time. Number 10. Soccer Heading. What a game this is. The overall challenge isn't much, but man is it ever fun. You get placed in a football field and your teammates kick footballs, cleats, and panda bear heads at you. Your goal is to headbutt the footballs with your head by leaning to the left and right. This game was always fun, especially when you only try to hit the panda heads and cleats. The animation and sound effects are so funny. Number 9. Sedgeway. You drive around Woohoo Island in a Sedgeway and try to pop as many balloons as you can within the time limit. There are moles that will deflate the balloons and pop out of the holes the balloons were in. After you pop the balloons, you will spawn the boss. That is extremely fun. I have the most amount of time spent on this game because of my world record times for it. Depending on the difficulty, you have 3 different maps and a different amount of balloons to pop on the boss. Expert is my personal favorite. Number 8. Table Tilt. Table Tilt, in my opinion, is better than the Plus version due to their 1. Being 2 different difficulties, and 2. Just the look and playthrough seems better than the purple and blue futuristic feeling in Plus. The advanced difficulty also does make it a little bit harder, but really does give it a challenge by removing the safety guards on the edges of each level. Number 7. Rowing Crew. You and 4 other players have to start to row your boat and become the winner and master of rowing. Your coach, on the other hand, likes to really yell at you through his siren, but that's what they have to do. I mean, look at this guy in the front, with the siren being blown right into his face. Poor guy. The game is just somehow fun despite looking like a boring game. The real fun is when playing with 4 players and one person is just doing so bad that all of you will have a fight and eventually some will get knocked out. The good old days. Don't do that though, seriously. Number 6. Obstacle Course. I can already tell a lot of people are screaming about why this game is not number 1, which I can completely agree with you, but there's just one problem. Every time I'm going through each level, a lot of the time when I try to jump, it just won't let me jump, and it leads to my death. And when you stop running, but your Mii keeps running and then falls off the edge. So annoying. The level design is unbelievable though. You're up high in the sky, higher than the clouds, passing through obstacles trying to get to the end. It is really an unbelievable game, but to me, it isn't the best. I'll also have one more thing to say about this when I get to the number 1 spot, but you'll have to wait for that. Number 5. Island Cycling. Island Cycling is by far one of the best games in Wii Fit franchise. With 4 whole difficulties and a free mode, Island Cycling has you biking around Woohoo Island, having to collect flags that are scattered across. Free mode does have the same thing, but with 20 balloons to pop. But I would most likely just go ahead and use it to bike around and explore all of the secret areas of the map. It's such a relaxing game for such an adventurous ride. It really does give you a full tour of Woohoo Island and its beauty. Number 4. Core Luge. This game is otherwise known as bobsledding. You get into a bobsled and have to use your hands and weight to get faster and turn around corners by tilting your body. I don't know why I enjoy this game so much, but it really is just a fun game, even though I really have nothing to say about it besides its bobsledding. Maybe it's just my Canadian instinct to enjoy any of the snow games. Number 3. Tilt City. Tilt City, when I was a kid, I would play this game so unbelievably much. The game drops balls onto a ramp that will fall onto the ramp that you have to control with your Wii remote and balance board. You have to try to get the colored balls into its color-coordinated firework pipe. If it's in beginner, it will only give you 3 pipes, but if you're on any other difficulty, it will give you 4 pipes. This makes the challenge significantly harder and requires you to focus up. The game is so fun and yet is still, to this date, one of my favorites in the Wii Fit franchise. Number 2. Puzzle Squash. If you don't have Wii Sports, then you can play tennis here with a lot more enjoyment. You hit the tennis ball back and forth and play a weird feeling game similar to Tetris. If anyone has played the Wii Sports Tennis, you already know that this is one of the best games in the Wii Fit franchise, since my favorite game from Wii Sports was tennis. Just getting to hit the tennis ball back and forth while having to try and hit patterns on the wall, it not only gives it a challenge, but an unbelievable amount of enjoyment. And finally, number 1, Snowball Fight. I know a lot of you expected Snowball Fight to be the best of the minigames, but also a lot expected Obstacle Course to be first as well. So let me explain. Obstacle Course is so overrated. That's right, I said it. Overrated. I have never once, when I got onto Wii Fit Plus and thought to myself, oh hey, let's do some Obstacle Course because it's fun, which it isn't. It is one of my most hated games due to the fact when you jump, it won't jump! But since it is enjoyable, let's talk about the fun here. Both the minigames are amazing to play, but I never was really able to think of something bad about Snowball Fight. That's why I could about Obstacle Course, which I already mentioned when covering it. Just aiming the remote cursor is already fun enough itself. Getting to just beat the heck out of other Miis with snowballs, it's so satisfying. Don't do this in real life though. Holy crap, did this list take a while, especially for the top 15. Quite a few of the games are extremely fun and make it very difficult to rank. I would also like to go ahead and give a shout out to Retrowavy for helping me with the rankings for each of the Wii Fit U minigames. I'll leave the link to his channel in the description, go check him out. Finally done with the ranking and chose what I chose. If anyone wants to tell me what they would have ranked some of these minigames, put it in the comments. But with all that said, hope you all enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, and have an awesome day.